So if you are just joining us again, welcome to Weather Overtime for Friday, the 28th of June. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick, live and direct on Twitch and loading up to YouTube, coming up here in just about 10-15 minutes as we wrap things up for the end of the week. We've got some quiet conditions again for now, but as we go into the weekend, we could be looking for the potential of some more storms heading our way. Much of what we're seeing for tonight, again, is calm and dry. We are in the final inning of the lookouts against the Rocket City Trash Pandas. If everything works here in just about another however long it takes them to finish things up, it's Fireworks Friday, so we should be able to see the fireworks going off here relatively soon. If that happens, we'll let you know about that coming up in just a little bit. That's the Bailey's Heating and Air camera that you're looking at. A lot of clouds off into the distance at Lee Point. We're not seeing a lot of clear skies tonight, and probably won't see a lot of totally clear skies, I should say, in the semi-near future because of the fact that we've got, again, a lot of tropical moisture overhead. So that is making it a little bit more humid and also giving us, again, some clouds and some scattered showers across portions of the area. Downtown from the News 12 studios at the Patriot Concrete camera, visibility is pretty good. All these cameras available on the News 12 EPB fiber optics weathercam network. You can get there by going to wdef.com/weather if you'd like to check out more about what's happening there. Fairly clear view from downtown. Looking at the Tomahawk crane and rigging camera, even more traffic lights are out. I'm wondering how much of that has to do with construction and how much of that is just a generic power outage, but it looks like more construction possible out there as we see, again, a lot of lights off at 2475 just south of the Chattanooga Airport. Chattanooga Theater Center, looking back toward the left-hand side of your screen on that shot, showing the lights from AT&T Field reflecting off of the Chattanooga area between the North Shore and downtown. That's the Tennessee River flowing on through there. Coolidge Park, a lot of folks out and about this afternoon. Not quite so much right now, at least this afternoon. A lot of people were sticking to the shady parts of things, and a lot of folks out on the bridge tonight walking and bike riding for this evening, so a calm and quiet evening there. And last but not least, looks like a Life Flight helicopter coming in for a landing at Erlanger Hospital on 4th Street. Hopefully everything is going okay there and helping somebody. I hope there's not too bad of a situation. That's the Chattanooga Zoo Q and Brew Zoo webcam. That's coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow on Saturday the 13th. More information about the Q and Brew, find out more at the Chattanooga Zoo social media pages and or through their social website at chattanooga.zoo.org. 87 at the airport and looking at a little bit higher humidity, so we do not have too much to show in the way of cooler, drier, comfortable conditions, and those southeasterly winds doing a very good job of stirring up some more humidity. We did have a lot more showers out there earlier. A lot of them are falling apart down into the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Looking here over areas east of I-75, north of Atlanta. We've got a few more showers here, and a passing shower is going to be about all that we really see for tonight. Even that should be wrapping up here in the next couple of hours. We're just past 10 o'clock on Friday night Eastern time, and we should be seeing most of everything pretty much quitting the area for the next several hours, but we will be back to more potential of showers and thunderstorms. As you notice the moving arrows on the screen here showing everything moving in from the southeast. So we've got a pretty steady flow of moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. And what's left of a front over portions of the mid-Atlantic states, we've got that leftover stationary front now turning into more of a cold front here east of Chattanooga and right off the east coast. That's the old system that we had with high pressure bringing in some drier conditions there. Now our next storm system is off into the Plain States, that cold front over Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, stirring up some thunderstorms over portions of that same area right about southwest and north of Kansas City, and that is going to be the system that gives us some more chances of showers and thunderstorms coming up as we go into the rest of the forecast toward the rest of the weekend. Now that front is going to be on its way, getting closer to us tomorrow morning. Not expecting too much in the way of rain, low to mid 70s for minimum temperatures. Highs tomorrow, if we get enough cloud cover, might drop us briefly into the upper 80s to lower 90s, and then we see again some pretty hot conditions coming up on Sunday as that storm system gets closer to us. The best potential of showers and thunderstorms will be on Sunday rather than Saturday, so we could be looking at the possibility of some more outdoor activities moving back indoors again. So if you have any plans for outdoors this weekend, be prepared to get back indoors again as soon as possible, just to be on the safe side, because we could be looking at more possible problems for outdoors into the next couple of days. Now on Monday, the threat of rainfall pretty much goes away because drier air comes in behind that front, but I didn't say anything about cooler. Temperatures in the high 80s to the lower to mid 90s. Triple digits could be a problem around and south of Atlanta. And then for Tuesday, that dry air kind of curbs any chances of rain away from us, and we see temperatures maybe knocking off a degree or two, but still looking pretty hot across much of the area. Now for the severe potential, most of what we saw for tonight, the thunderstorm chances from northeastern Georgia, northeastern Alabama to northwestern Georgia, that'll be the best potential of any thunderstorms for tonight. As we get into Saturday, the threat is well to our north. We see again a possibility of a slight risk of severe weather back to around the upper Ohio River Basin into the upper Midwest, northern West Virginia, Ohio, western Pennsylvania, western Maryland could be seeing a possible threat of severe weather there. And then as we go into and around Sunday, we do see the potential of a marginal threat of severe weather. What we're looking at here, again, on a scale of 1 to 5, this is a 1. This is not a severe weather outbreak. So we're talking about Cherokee County, North Carolina, Polk County and Monroe County, and possibly eastern Meigs County in Tennessee. That'll be the best possibility here of seeing severe weather. Now keep in mind this forecast is already several hours old and will continue again to see the possibility of this fluctuate through the weekend. So if you're watching this on Saturday morning or on Sunday you're tuning in for a late update, keep in mind that this information you're looking at here is updated every several hours from the Storm Prediction Center, and by Saturday or Sunday, this could be a completely different forecast one way or the other. So we'll keep an eye on the potential of severe weather throughout the weekend. So keep it tuned to News 12. We'll keep you updated. But the possibility of severe weather, while it will be with us, does not look to be anything magnificently huge as we saw several days and weeks ago. So hopefully, again, not too much of a problem there. Taking a look at the Island Cove Marina and Resort camera, again showing not that much in the way of clear skies, but we do have a decent amount of clouds out there for right now. The view into the weekend will show temperatures remaining back in the lower to mid 90s. Again, that is just above normal for this time of the year. We will see temperatures stay in that particular area for the course of the next several days. It does not look to be changing anytime soon, but it is possible that we could be seeing, again, more in the way of heat coming our direction as we go toward the area of next week. Again, we're showing the possibility of very hot conditions all the way over into Thursday and Friday of next week. And give me a second because that was the wrong day on there. I want to move Independence Day to its right location. That's on Thursday, not Friday. Apologies for that. We'll be showing again chances of showers and thunderstorms coming through. For Independence Day, there could be a potential for some natural fireworks about the time the human-made fireworks will be popping off there. We're also seeing the potential for some hotter weather coming on through toward Friday and into next weekend. So far, there is no sign of any triple digits, but the mid to high 90s combined with more tropical air sticking around, that's going to be pretty doggone hot to begin with out across much of the region. All the way through the middle part of this next month, there is the potential, according to the Climate Prediction Center, of winding up with some much above normal temperatures. The 8 to 14 day outlook, a slight risk of excessive heat in the orange shaded category around Chattanooga, points north. Not that much going on in the North Carolina, Tennessee area because of those higher elevations. It's not going to be quite as hot there. What it is going to be is south of Chattanooga, Atlanta, Birmingham, down toward Montgomery, Huntsville, over toward Tupelo, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and into the Carolinas, picking up what the National Storm Prediction Center, or I should say the Climate Prediction Center, is showing as excessive heat potential. So into the early portion of July, around Independence Day through the second weekend of July, we could be looking at a moderate risk of the potential of hot weather taking place. So that, again, could be a potential problem for anybody outdoors. It's going to be a lot of problems with anybody working or exercising outdoors because of the fact that, again, the heat and humidity are going to be making things dangerous for anybody who doesn't take any breaks out there. I know that there's been a lot of legislative bodies across the United States who have been starting to ban mandatory breaks in the heat, which is one of the more foolish things that I've ever seen in my entire life, because kids practicing football will get more breaks than some people working very hard outdoor jobs under this new legislation that's being proposed or enacted in some cases. So this is going to be dangerous heat for everybody to start paying attention to what's going on and to make certain that you are paying attention to people who are working around you. We all have to care about each other. We are all neighbors to each other, so it's important, especially in heat like this, to watch yourself and watch other people for signs of heat stress. Again, if you start getting confused, you start getting nauseous, you start getting dizzy, uncoordinated, discombobulated, overpouring of sweat out of your body, it's time to take a break, get in the air conditioning, get in the shade, cool off for a while. Any people who are in charge of people working outside, that's going to be a critical thing for you to take a look at as well. Now, when the body starts shutting down and you start seeing dry skin or somebody loses consciousness, that's called heat stroke, and that is a call 911 emergency situation. So you're going to have to make certain that you pay attention to that, especially with conditions like this coming up in the course of the next several days and weeks. So please keep it tuned for News 12. We're going to have a lot more on this coming up as we go into next week. So stay tuned for more on that and be prepared. It's time to make certain that you've got a decent amount of water stocked in so you can put back what your body sweats away. It's a good opportunity to stay hydrated no matter where you are and what you're doing. So again, please pay attention to what is going on there. Tomorrow is the final day of National Lightning Safety Awareness Week, brought to you by the Lightning Safety Council and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Today's topic for Friday is lightning and lightning victims. If you see someone who has been struck by lightning, if you're training people on first aid and CPR, if somebody has been struck by a lightning bolt or a charge of lightning, they do not carry a charge. The charge dissipates very rapidly through the body. The body is a decent conductor with all the water and salts we have on board, but there is no residual charge. So you can touch someone to see if they are breathing, if they have a pulse. If they don't have either one of those, time to start administering CPR. This is, again, a call 911 type situation, and keep administering CPR. Get the operators on the phone to make sure that they know what's happening so they can relay instructions. More information from the National Lightning Safety Council.org if you'd like to know more there. Plus, we mentioned this last night. Again, this is something that you may not have heard of, and this is something that I have taught in classrooms before, that the lightning crouch. If you've never heard of this before, you crouch down, you make yourself as small a target as you possibly can, and you kind of you rock yourself back and forth on the balls of your feet to where you try to not be in contact with the ground as much as possible. The problem is you're still in contact with the ground. So the best practice against getting struck by lightning is to get back indoors as soon as possible to a sturdy building, not a tent, not an outdoor patio, a gazebo, structurally sound, walls all around you, glass and the usual stuff for a building. Get back indoors again. There's no way at this point in time to not be able to see what goes on with lightning. Keeping track of things on your phone, keeping track on the internet, making sure that somebody in your group, no matter where you are, monitors what's happening. And if lightning is a certain mile percentage away from you, about 10, 20, 30 miles away, that's when it's time to start getting everybody back indoors again and waiting for that storm to go past safely to make certain that you are indeed safe. So again, please keep that in mind for lightning safety during the summer. Today's National Lightning Safety Awareness Week choice question from friendinroofing.com at wdef.com/vote now. Each year, Florida as a state averages how many lightning strikes per square mile? And the answer is 40. That's pretty impressive when you consider that's all the counties in Florida getting all that together with all that lightning information right there. 40% of you voted for 20 or 90. 0% voted for 10. 40% was the winner on that. So thank you very much for participating in our poll for the day. And you can find more polls at wdef.com/vote now coming up at midnight tonight. Sale Creek, Chris Eaker, News 12 video viewer there, taking a video of sunrise or sunset, not sure which one, at Saul Boat Marina. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris, or Ms. Chris, depending on who you are, for that view. If you've got pictures to share, please send them in to us. We could always use more of them. Pictures at wdef.com or to our social media pages or to wdef.com/photos to see what is available out there. Waiting for the fireworks to begin. I don't know if we're going to make it before the end here. We are still in about the top half of the ninth inning, so we may not get to it before we finish up with weather overtime here, but hopefully a good view. And should be, again, hopefully good conditions for tomorrow night's game for the lookouts against the Trash Pandas going on at AT&T Field. We'll see what happens. No matter what happens tomorrow with any outdoor activities, be prepared to get back indoors again, because for lightning safety purposes, those lightning chances increase through the afternoon and evening. And if you see lightning or hear thunder or see it on your phone getting within, again, 20, 30 miles, it's time to wrap up for safety's sake. So let's be careful out there. Likewise, anything having to do with going out on the golf course, definitely want to make certain that you are protected there. And there will be more chances of lightning through the day. And on a flat, broad surface like a golf course with lots of trees around and you with metal spikes on your feet and a metal rod in your hand and the tallest thing on a putting green, that's not the place to be when lightning is around. So time to get off the course, head back to the clubhouse, and get a good drink of fresh, cold ice water and just sit there and relax and wait for the storm to pass on by. Almanac for today, 94, just above normal. 73, our low temperature, no precipitation. We have had an inch of rain plus for the month of June. We are about almost 3 inches behind for the month and for the year. So we are getting into some very, very dry conditions across the area. I would not be surprised to see some areas getting some more wildfire statements out there. All right, quick check of the tropics before we head back out again. Down from the southeast United States into the Caribbean. This disturbance up to a 50% chance of development in the next week as it goes across the area of the Yucatan Peninsula and into that area where Alberto developed about 2 weeks ago. So this particular storm could be an issue for the southern Gulf. If it decides to curve a little farther northward, we could be seeing some problems from that storm south of Corpus Christi in Texas. Tropical depression number 2 has formed. We'll talk about that in detail in just a second. Right beyond that, following on its tropical depression number 2's heels, a new system has just made its way off the Sahel and into the Atlantic. So Western Africa, now sending out some very strong disturbances. This one is now up to a 40% chance of development, and it could be anywhere going in that area following Tropical Depression number 2. That orange polygon you see is where the storm is expected to possibly develop more into the semi-near future. Now, let's kind of sandwich what we really want to be talking about at this time. We have Tropical Depression number 2 sitting currently in the mid-Atlantic Ocean. This is going to be, again, making its way to the west pretty steadily. It's moving at about 21. It's now down to about 17 miles per hour. So this cell is expected to move its way into the Leeward Islands and just north of South America, possibly as a Category 2 hurricane. Now, that's just below major Category 3 strength. So if it's right between the Leeward Islands and Jamaica, let's say, we could be looking at possibility of it developing into a Category 3. That, again, is not on this official forecast. That's just spitballing the possibilities. But this system, again, just out into the ocean, is going to be making its way west-northwest. That could enter the Gulf, and that could take the same path as Alberto. It could take the same path as the disturbance over Belize and the Yucatan Peninsula, or it could curve northward, or it could fall apart. Right now, it's, again, difficult to say. This forecast takes us about a week out, and a lot can happen in a week. So definitely want to stay tuned for more with News 12 on that. We'll keep you advised as to what may be going on in the course of the near future. Coming up this weekend, this is an important date, June 30th, the last day of the month, 1908. 116 years ago this Sunday, what is theorized to be a piece of a comet slammed into Siberia in eastern Russia. The devastation that it caused could have wiped out a major city the size of Houston or New York or Los Angeles. The devastation was that widespread, and the surveyors who went out there several years afterwards couldn't get out there until after the Russian Revolution happened. When they did, they found entire forests mown down like matchsticks. It was incredible. So Asteroid Day is a day where we concentrate on spreading the word about science, mathematics, engineering, astronomy, keeping an eye on science, and making certain that we know more about what's going on in the skies above us. The solar system we live in is a cosmic shooting gallery. It's estimated that billions or trillions of pieces of leftover rocks, dust, ice, all kinds of stuff floating around out there. Now, some of them are as large as Mount Everest. On the right-hand side of your screen, what wiped out the dinosaurs back several million years ago. Most of them are about the size of a grain of salt or a baby aspirin. And so they burn up in our atmosphere harmlessly, but the bigger ones can cause devastation, could even wipe out life on Earth pretty much. And Asteroid Day is a day to concentrate on that. So if you'd like to know more, please go to asteroidday.org. Several scientists and personalities around the world have gotten together to create this day so we can pay attention to what's going on in the skies above Earth and out into the solar system. One of those is Brian May from one of the best groups on the planet, Queen. He's also an astrophysicist, so he helped to put this whole thing together, and it's really cool to see what's being done to promote safety of our solar system by studying those topics I mentioned earlier. And again, as Dr. Tyson said, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the head of the New York City Planetarium, cosmologist, astrophysicist, the dinosaurs never saw their asteroid coming. What's our excuse? So something to think about, but again, Asteroid Day coming up this Sunday, so please tune in for more on that, and we will keep you advised to if we see anything in the way of near misses coming our direction, besides Apophis, which will be here in about 5 years, so that is also something to really consider there. Think that should do it. It's just past 10:30. We got to get this on to our YouTube channel, so we'll go ahead and wrap up for tonight. Again, you can find me on all of these social media pages. And again, keep tuned to our forecast at WDEF.com/weather. I'll be back on Monday for the foreshortened work week. Amy Catcher will be joining us as our morning weather anchor, as Chip Chapman will be taking time off. Would like to take a quick second to thank meteorologist Todd Heislip for being our weekend and fill-in meteorologist. Todd is retiring from the business and will be heading off to greener pastures after his Sunday evening's weathercast, so wishing him well, and thanks a lot for being willing to fill in on some very crazy hours out there. I'll have more on News 12 at 11, and of course throughout the weekend on WDEF.com/weather, and of course stay tuned for more through the weekend on air and online, and we'll keep you advised. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick. You've been watching Weather Overtime. Please have a happy and safe weekend, and we'll see you back here again coming up on Monday.